Hi, this is Finance and Investing, just Joey style. And if you're wondering, yes, those are inflatable bananas. One over by the door, and then one hanging between my lights, and then there's some on my ceiling. I had some people kind of play a joke, decorate. I told them they could. It's fun. I got some minions coming. That's what I'm going to decorate for Christmas. So you know how they say banana, banana. That's what I'm going to do. Minions and bananas. So I like to have fun. And then I got done building some snow penises in the yard because it's just fun. It's something I've done for a long time. Anyhow, let's get down to some seriousness here though. Because we got a lot going on, especially in the crypto world, and people are sleeping on it. So we got some pictures that I need to go through here. Not every one of these is going to be relevant. Sorry for my dog likes to snore. Uh, if you can hear that. But here's the Bitcoin price based upon the miner production cost. So this is the amount that it basically costs to produce a Bitcoin for the miners right now. And it's been scary accurate. Only one time that this line ever dipped below the red line during the entire existence of Bitcoin. So there's a very, very low chance that Bitcoin's going to drop below $70,000. So that should give you a little bit of a short-term hope. Now, this people were freaking out. There's a lot big FUD hit piece on MSTR. Like they were like, "Oh man, it's going to drop below their Bitcoin's going to drop below their cost basis, where it's around $74,000, I think it is per coin." I'm not 100% sure of it off the top of my head, but back in 2022, when we were in a bear market and in crypto winter, their average cost for Bitcoin was about 30 grand. When the price of Bitcoin was 50% lower at grand, and they're showing you that they bought more then. So they're doing the exact thing now. The company is astronomically bigger and has a crap load more Bitcoin than it is now, has financial products backed by Bitcoin, and they're offering yields better than any financial product that is out there. So imagine a world where people were freaking out because Bitcoin's dropping close to someone's cost basis. Like they're not on margin or anything like that. So it's not like they owe it. Who cares if it drops below their cost basis? Stocks drop below people's cost basis all the time and they're not liquidated. So this company is absolutely amazing. And they have, there's a picture later on I'll talk about in a second about how much the Bitcoin they've bought. But it's an incredible company holding an incredible asset. And at this current moment in time, their market cap is $7 billion lower than their net asset value of what Bitcoin is worth. I'm going to say that again. Their market cap, the overall value of their company is worth $7 billion less than just their Bitcoin holdings. So if that doesn't scream undervalue, opportunity to buy, I don't know what does. I think MSTR is one of the most undervalued companies in the market. So they had some scare with the MSCI index. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but basically they shouldn't be affected by it because they're not a fund. They're an operating company. And then they just started getting a cash reserve too. And they have $1.4 billion in cash to pay their dividend for the next 21 months. They did it because people were freaking out that they couldn't pay their dividend. So they were just, when the world's like, you don't know what you're doing, they shut the world up real fast. MSTR is a wonderful company, and if you're not buying a lot of shares of it, I think it's a bad idea. I don't know what that is. I'm not worried about it. I'm not gonna talk about charts right at the moment. Oh, huge Bitcoin mining facility for America. That's enormous. Yeah, this. I think HIMS is a buy. No, not think. HIMS is definitely a buy in the 30s. Could drop to 25, but HIMS is a buy in the 30s. So it's a buy right now, if you ask me. This chart shows, I think this is the business cycle. I'm trying to think what this one is. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I'm not going to talk about it. This is the rainbow chart. This shows that anytime it's in the blue or in this like grayish white area, Bitcoin is discounted or in deep value, and that's where it's showing at right now. Discount and deep value. So buy it. This is also roughly where it would be in the next 5 years based upon the chart. The low end is showing a quarter of a mil. The high end is showing 775. I think this chart's going to be a little bit different moving forward because the game has changed. It's become an institutional game, which is going to increase the price significantly higher. This is the business cycle, and we've been in the business cycle in the red area longer below the 50 than any time. What the heck is going on? Why in the world did that just do that? I don't know why I did that. Come on. There we go. So this is the longest we've been below the 50 on the business cycle since the financial crisis of 2008, 2009. And we've been in it longer now. I mean, it dropped significantly lower here, but we've been in it for a longer time than we were here. I'm telling you that this market is going to rip. Everybody's scared. Everybody's fearful. They just stopped doing QT, which is quantitative tightening. So the Federal Reserve has got their balance sheet back in order, and they're going to start printing money again, quantitative easing. And they'll do that again for another year, 2 years, 3 years, but until they figure out that it's screwing inflation up. But that's really, really good for stock market, economy. Trump wants to get people stimulus checks next year, talking about $2,000 per family, maybe even per individual. I'm not sure. It's incredible. There's just going to be so much money flying around. Plus, there's a whole bunch of money kind of sitting on the sidelines right now because people have been scared to get in the market. And I think people, as the market goes up, we're not out of the woods yet. We could still dip down. We're not confirmed bull run because we've been in a little bit of a bear market. Well, not bear market, just down market. Uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. So, but we're good. Talk about charts. This one is SoFi. I'm almost positive. Yeah, this is SoFi. SoFi is an incredible company, absolutely incredible company. It is the top 53 bank in the world right now, or in America. Yeah, SoFi. They are increasing like crazy. Look at their assets. Federal Reserve Consolidated Asset Ranking. Their assets have been growing like crazy since 2022. This is an incredible company. Absolutely incredible company. SoFi. SoFi is a bit on the high side right now. I'd like to see it come back down into the mid to low 20s. That's when I see fair and good value. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I think financials and fintech and things like that are going to do extremely well. Plus, SoFi is the only bank in the world that's allowing you to trade crypto from your bank account. They're nationally chartered. They're assets that grow like crazy, and they have an incredible management team that has hit their marks. And their management team has consistently said 2026 to 2027 are their big years to grow. So the next 2 years is going to be very, very good for SoFi. This is just showing SoFi Pay. So SoFi Pay is going to use the Bitcoin Lightning Network. So I put out a video a couple weeks or maybe a couple days ago, can't remember, on the use case of Bitcoin, because people have been saying that there's no use case for Bitcoin. It doesn't make any sense because Bitcoin is a settlement layer. Blockchain in general is a settlement layer, not a payment layer, not a transaction layer, a settlement layer. It's very, very different. But right here, be as part of SoFi Pay, which we just launched a couple weeks ago, which is the ability to send payments from the United States across the Lightning Network to, in this case, Mexico into local fiat. We'll launch Europe and Brazil before the end of year. SoFi's stablecoin will be part of the transmission payment process. They're also building their stablecoin, obviously, on, well, it might not be obvious to some people, on Bitcoin, because that's where the Lightning Network exists. So Bitcoin has one heck of a use case, and it settles payments across the planet. So does Solana and Ethereum and XRP. So, well, I got to make sure that XRP is a settlement layer. I believe it is with RLUSD, their ledger, but I got to check into that one. So don't quote me on that just yet. This is the 21 rules that Michael Saylor has for Bitcoin. I don't know why it keeps going smaller. Bank ranking, launch custody. I don't know why that got really small. That got really big. I don't know. I can't read what it said. $700 billion banking giant U.S. Bancorp to launch Bitcoin custody. BTC on Wall Street is coming. I'm telling you, hyper adoption is right around the corner. And there's going to be some slides here in the next, or some pictures here that I see that are going to show you that adoption is really, really ramping up for crypto, and it's going to be integrated into the system. Plus, we just had Paul Atkins say something on X. I just had it, where there's going to be some crazy things going through and some tax, what's the word? Exemptions. Some exemptions for crypto moving forward. It's called innovation exemptions is what they said. That was the words they said. So I don't think it's going to be just for crypto. It sounds like it's going to be for AI too, which is great. Let me plug my phone in. But this picture shows you exactly how powerful this company has become and how much money they can bring in and how quickly they can acquire an asset the size that Bitcoin is. So their average price for Bitcoin is $74,000. It took them $48 billion to acquire that. And right now, their Bitcoin holdings are worth about $59 billion at about 90,000-ish per coin. So, and they hold 650,000 Bitcoin, even. 650,000 Bitcoin even. But this chart, look at this. I believe this is 13 quarters. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Sorry, 17. 17 quarters. It took them 17 quarters from 2020 to 2024. And now, real quick, I want to show you the Bitcoin chart from 2020 to 2024. Is that Bitcoin? Yeah. Okay. 2020. Holy crap. I got to scroll all the way back here. All right. This is like August 20. This is basically when they started buying it. Somewhere in this area. Bitcoin was like $8,000 when they started buying this thing. It quickly ran to 60,000, dropped all the way back down to 33, back up to 60, and then tumbled all the way back down to 16 grand again. And they had an average cost right around $30,000 at this point, right around here. And it dropped all the way down here. And guess what they did? They kept buying more. But anyhow, what I'm showing you is for 4 years, they were able to buy Bitcoin significantly lower than it even is right now. So even, 33% lower than it is now? All this time. And back to my pictures. 17 quarters, they were able to buy 252,000 Bitcoin in 17 quarters. But over the last 5 quarters, they were able to buy 400,000 Bitcoin. Well, 2,000 shy. So 398,000 Bitcoin in 5 quarters. And from 2024, Q4 2024 Jiminy Christmas. Q4 2024 right here. All right, this is Q4, October, November, and December. Bitcoin was a low price of 66 and hasn't been any lower than pretty much 80 grand, but has been holding most of the year close to $100,000. So Bitcoin's been holding very close to 100 grand for the last 4 or 5 quarters. And MSTR was able to buy almost 2 times as many Bitcoin. 400,000 compared to 250,000. It took them 17 quarters to buy 250,000 Bitcoin when it was significantly cheaper. And then they were able to buy 400,000 in 5 quarters when it was closer to $100,000 a piece throughout this entire time. Think about that. Think about how much money how much more money, if they were making that much money through this, they'd have insane amounts of Bitcoin. They own 3.1% of the Bitcoin network, which is huge. So I'm telling you, this is the most undervalued company in the world. Plus, they're also increasing. I don't know if I have that. This is going to be hard to explain, whatever. But basically, Bitcoin could basically go up by 1.4% a year forever and no more, and they're completely solvent. Bitcoin could drop 19% per year, and it would take them 10 years for their company to be insolvent, and they'd have to figure out what the heck's going on with their business. So think about that. The main asset that they hold can drop 19% a year for 10 years, and that's when they have to start going, oh crap, what are we going to do? 10 years. That's crazy. So it's a very, very, very solvent company. They said they could sell some Bitcoin if they need to, but they were more likely going to sell Bitcoin derivatives than Bitcoin itself. They stated that in here. Right now they have 1.75 years of dividends on hand in cash, and they can pay them for 74 years based upon their Bitcoin holdings. So, and that's basically where they go. This sucks if Bitcoin gets back to $10,000. But that's not going to happen. Here we go. This is extremely huge news. I'm telling you, hyper adoption is coming to Bitcoin. It's coming to crypto so fast. When things start to catch on, they catch on, and then people start using them. They catch on quickly, and then boom. Bitcoin was like a 4-ish% adoption around the world. It's like over 5 now. It's going to be insane. This is Vanguard. Vanguard said 7 years ago they would never allow their clients to invest in a Bitcoin, basically. $11 trillion financial giant will finally allow clients to buy crypto ETFs starting tomorrow, which was today. It went live today. They green-lighted crypto ETFs for 50 million of their clients to be able to buy. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. The ETFs that are tied to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP, all 50 million of Vanguard's clients can access now. That's incredible. That's incredibly bullish for crypto. That's incredibly bullish for adoption. Right here. Just in, NASDAQ is accelerating its push to launch blockchain-based settlements for stocks. That means settlements, they settle quicker. Blockchain is crypto. I'm telling you, the financial world is finally starting to wake up to crypto, and it's waking up fast. Now, it's still going to take some time. We're still early. You're still going to have 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24 months for things to really start to get fully implemented. But within 2 years, some things are really going to change. And then between 2 and 5 years, you're really going to see some fireworks in crypto. And I'm pretty good at long-term thinking. So, what's this again? Tokenization? What's that? That's crypto. You can't have tokenize things without crypto. So requires layer ones, DeFi. Feeling bearish is short-sighted. So tokenization is shaping the next evolution of global markets. Think about that. Shaping the next evolution of global markets. Do you know how much money that is? It's insane. Um, the Economist, Larry Fink, Rob Goldstein discussed tokenization can modernize market infrastructure, enhance efficiency. So, what do businesses love? Efficiency, transparency, and access by connecting traditional and digital finance. TradFi meets DeFi and global assets. I'm telling you, crypto, there's a lot of people like it's the AI revolution. Yeah, but the crypto revolution is right behind it. And I think you've got a better chance of making a lot more money in crypto because I've been stacking shares all year and crypto has either been flat or gone slightly down, which is incredible because it's given me 12 months to just buy while the prices are low. Okay, and then here's the confirmation. Vanguard, look at this. January 22nd, 2018. You will never see a Bitcoin fund from us. No, Vanguard will allow crypto ETFs on its platform. So it's not just Bitcoin now, multiple different cryptos. So we're extremely, extremely bullish. I don't think I got anything else here that I want to go over. How the heck do I get back out of this? Okay. Oh. Actually, I do. There's two more pictures. Right here. The SEC set to examine tokenization rules with Coinbase, BlackRock, Galaxy, Robinhood joining. So this is setting up a more efficient, technology-ready market structure. So market structure. I believe that this is referring to, and what Paul Atkins was talking about today, the SEC chairman, is the Clarity Act. So I think the Clarity Act is starting to get buttoned up, and it's getting enough information out there for institutions to place some money or allow their clients to place money or even tell their clients that they recommend placing money into crypto. And that's enormous. Even if it's 1%, 2%, that's a lot of assets. From Vanguard's got 11 trillion in assets under management. BlackRock's got 13.5 trillion in assets under management. Bank of America's talking about it. JP Morgan Chase, who has butchered Bitcoin forever, especially Jamie Dimon, he's hated it. He's basically called it a pet rock. Their bank is now creating products based upon BlackRock's ETF IBIT, which is solely based upon the spot price of Bitcoin. That's it. And it's the best performing product that BlackRock has. $13.5 trillion asset manager, biggest in the entire world. And Bitcoin backed product is their best performing product ever. And it's only been out for less than 2 years. And JP Morgan is now piggybacking off of that idea. Those are two of the biggest financial institutions in America you're ever going to see. So JP Morgan is the biggest bank by assets, and BlackRock is the biggest asset manager on the planet. So yeah, crypto's a scam. Don't buy it. Anyhow, Ethereum Fusaka upgrade goes live tomorrow, December 3rd. Features and benefits explained. Here's two of them. Ethereum's Fusaka update cuts blockchain data load by 85%, improving validator efficiency significantly, and layer 2 fees expected to drop 40 to 60%, benefiting Arbitrum, Optimism, and base users. So big upgrade coming for Ethereum. Tom Lee's company now owns I think exactly 3% of the Ethereum network. They want to get to 5%. They want to get to 5%, and they're looking into staking and companies to help with that. And there's once they get staking and they've got 5% of the Ethereum network, That's a ridiculous amount of revenue that they can have coming in just from sitting their asset idle. Now, I don't know everything that this company is going to be and do in the future, but between Tom Lee and what Ethereum is going to do for traditional finance, and that almost 50-ish% of stablecoins are being built on Ethereum's network, and Ethereum's new upgrade is going to be basically for institutional workloads. Wow. I mean, there's just some incredible things. And Bitmine's $30 a share right now. So you can buy 100 shares of this thing for $3,000. I'm telling you, I highly recommend stacking sats on Bitmine, and it was just $25 the other day. I think that's going to be the floor, but we don't know. We're still going to have some volatility for sure. But now is the time to stack these good companies. MSTR, like I said, right here it is. $52 billion market cap. I'm going to do the math for you. They own 650,000 Bitcoin. It's currently $91,000 a piece. That's $59 billion. Their Bitcoin alone is worth $59 billion. And their company's market cap, their entire company is worth $52 billion. Make that make sense. I'll wait. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It's a market inefficiency. Yes, this company is very much so misunderstood. The sentiment dropped drastically on it. It had a good day. It's like, oh man, this is a great day. Yeah, it's a great day, but gee, many Christmas. Look at the last 3 freaking months. Not so great. But that doesn't matter. Big MSTR can move $100 a share in a month, and it's done it several times since its inception, or since it started buying Bitcoin. It's a volatile asset. I'm actually currently playing some MSTX. It's doing very well today, but 2-time leverages are different, so make sure you know the rules there. I'm not going to explain them to you because you can do a simple Google search to understand what it is. And if you don't understand, then you can ask me questions. So you got to do some things yourself. But yeah, incredible company. Portfolio start. I'm going to go over the portfolio real quick. It's starting to come back a little bit. It was nice today. It's dropped off in after hours. It's whatever. I got a couple options. I got a Navitas option out there. Oh, it came back. Yay. Anyhow, I got some covered calls out there this week. I'm making, $50, $100 a week, something like that, selling some covered calls. Renting out my stocks is what I call it. I'm making rent every week, and I'm just banking that. So, yay. MSTR. I'd like to see this thing come back above $300, and that's when I think we're back into a bull run. But we got to get out of this downtrend because we're in a big one right now. So is Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin. I'd like to see Bitcoin break out of this downtrend too. Bitcoin breaks out of this line. Oh, baby. Let's go. When we get back above the 200 and get into an actual uptrend, and I just see the MACD go above the 0 line, then we're going to start rolling. I think 2026 is going to be a good year, especially for crypto and AI. This is MSTR. It's going to be similar, but come on. Yeah. See, I mean, it's just tanked. It's tanked off, and it's really hitting my my lines down here. I'm going to get rid of this real quick if I can. It's coming down inside of this wedge. It's a big support zone. It's bounced off it several times. It bounced hard off of 155 yesterday. Buyers really stood up. Or was that today? Today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So we got a MACD curl crossover, and we're coming out of oversold territory where we've been for freaking 2 weeks. I think this thing's about ready to blow, if you ask me. So, yeah. Anyhow, That was a free thing I got for recommending somebody to Robinhood. SoFi, it's been flirting with $30. I think I have $32 covered calls on it. I don't know why I clicked on it. But it's coming up. It's coming up real nice. It's got a fintech multiple. It's a national banking charter. Amazing, amazing management team. Amazing products. They're fintech, so it's financial technology. So, and they're getting into crypto. Dude, everything is screaming that this bank is the play for the next couple of years to do extreme. Well, it not is the play, but it's a play that's going to do very, very well. I think that SoFi is going to be $100 a share. I don't know, within a couple years for sure. So you're looking at 3x on your money, and then you can wheel the living crap out of this company. I like to do the wheel strategy. So if we come back here and we look at the chart on SoFi, I need to blow my nose. Man, excuse me. We pretty much got a little floor down here around $25. Seems to be a pretty solid price to get into this company. So if you, excuse me, it's almost time for bed. You see this around $25, it's snatch it up for sure. I don't think it's going to drop outside of the 20s, but if it does, we're probably coming back to 18, $19. But we're going to stop here. There it is, 25. 25 is a stellar price for this. And like I said, right there between 14 and 18. If you see it there, it's an absolute steal. I don't think it's going to drop much below that, but we'll see. This is holding up better than a lot of other companies had been. So MACD crossover. Chart looks good to me. So we definitely can get back up to $32 a share. SoundHound's actually kind of slacking off on the AI side of things right now. It's actually starting to break down a little bit. We did have a MACD crossover. We're still fighting this. I think SoundHound might come down even further. It's down the low 11s. I think that $10 is the floor on this thing. Actually, $8 is probably the floor. This is where I have that line drawn. There's my line of support. But right here, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to drop below $9. If you ask me, I really don't. But it can. It's volatile. It's still fairly-ish new company, so they're still proving themselves. They don't have any debt, but I don't believe they're profitable just yet. So there's still some risks to this company, but I believe they're going to be the voice of AI. But right now, it is not holding up as well as some of the other AI plays. But we have a MACD crossover, not a strong one. I don't know. Now's a great time to just keep buying shares. Anything under 12, geez, anything under 15, $16. No, that's not true. Between 12 and 14, I think it's a buy. Anything below that, solid place to buy. But load up if you see it around 10 or less. For sure. It's under the purple line. It's under 200-day moving average. So, yeah. We're probably going to come back up, stop at the 50. We break the 50. We're going to have some resistance between 16 and $17. And then we'll probably go to all-time highs again at 20. That's what I'm looking for here, but we'll see how this goes. And then HIMS. I think HIMS is going to get back to 45 pretty quick. It was doing well, and then it kind of tanked off a little bit the last couple of days. We do have a MACD crossover on the daily. It bounced pretty hard off of this line and came out of the this downtrend that I had sharply drawn here. So we get back to the 200, 44. That's where I've been kind of selling covered calls, somewhere between 40 and 44, until we start to move. And then I'll roll out if I need to to not sell my shares because I don't plan on selling them until we get to 50 to 60 bucks. Maybe higher, just kind of depends, but that's my play here. But yeah, if we, I don't know, we go about 2 weeks out, $25. Let's right here. I'm gonna make 33 cents a share on every 17 days, selling a $25 put for SoFi to come down $5 a share, and you buy it. If it never comes down here, you keep 33 cents per share or 33 bucks because these are $100 contracts, or you keep the money and you buy shares at 25 if it's a 25 or lower within this time frame. Selling puts is one of the best ways to get into companies and generate income while you wait for things to come down lower than they are. So, but you have to do them on 100 share increments. Mara, Bitcoin miners just got some good news. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but Mara is one of those things that's going to move. Obviously tied to Bitcoin. Bitcoin news looks good. Clarity Act. We got some. Q4 can still, this last month can still be really good. January can be really good. I think Q1 is going to be decent for crypto. I think we're going to have some downward chop at some point next year, but I'm bullish for the most part because there's just so many things. Stimulus checks, quantitative easing, Clarity Act, institutions. There's a lot of things happening in Q1 where institutions are going to be switching over to these crypto products, and ISO 222 is the language for banks to run off of for transactions and payments. So like the SWIFT system, the messaging system that shows the transactions, ISO 222 compliant companies had to do that. I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And that just allows for cryptos for messaging system and processing transactions faster to align with current banking protocols. So, crypto. All right. And then last thing, real quick. Oh, yeah. We'll do the Coinbase. Here's my buy and hold account. These are anything that's above algo and above. Those are kind of like my long-term stuff. Solana, I'm increasing my position. I'm doing $2.50 a day into Solana, and I just started doing this in just the last couple of weeks. Actually, just last week or two. And then I bought a couple small things here and there. Algorand, I'm going to get to 1,000. I know enough about it. I think there's a privacy layer that I like, so I'm going to put a little bit of money into it and see what it does. Solana, I'll just keep buying it for a very long time. It's the only thing I didn't have that I liked. BitTensor intrigues me. I'd like to get to one coin and kind of let it sit unless I have some other money that allows me to buy it or it drops down even lower, which is actually a pretty darn good price. Yeah, geez. The last month it was $500 a piece. It's down 50%. Wow. So, yeah. So what I'm telling you, nobody wants to see red in their account. My whole blasted account's red except for Ethereum and XRP. So it doesn't bother me because I have my full position in XRP, which is 3,000. I have anything over 3,000 is tradable. Bitcoin, I don't really have. I want to get to at least a tenth of a Bitcoin, but I don't have a cap. I'll take as much Bitcoin as I can. Same thing with Ethereum. I don't really have a cap, but I want to get to at least 5. HBAR 20,000. I'm already over 13. 10,000 for Stellar. I hit my position on Cardano and Ondo. 2,000. I bought a little bit more of this because 40 cents is a good price for ADA. It was at $1 not that long ago. So this is going to double probably within the next 12 months, maybe 18 at best. That's not a long time to wait to double your money. Ondo, I have 1,000. That's my long-term position. So anything above that are bonus shares. I'd like to get to about 250 Chainlink, and I want to get to at least 1,000 SUI. So that's what I'm doing here. And then these ones are just Pump, Chronos, and Pep. Those are just kind of trades, see what they do. Might even hold them long. We'll figure it out. But this is a buy and hold account. I'm going to continuously stack shares in this, continuously stack coins, crypto, whatever you want to call it. I say shares just because I'm used to the market, stock market, because ownership. I own this stuff. And yeah, I keep my stuff on the exchange. Coinbase is the safest exchange there is, period. So doesn't really bother me. Yeah. Now it hasn't been official yet. This is just something I'm hoping for in the future. And with clarity, market structure, adoption, all this good stuff, and crypto increasingly improving, I think you're going to eventually be able to sell covered calls and puts. It's like standard options. You could do something similar, but you got to jump through like 14 hoops to do it. So I'm hoping that one day we're going to be able to sell, and I don't think it's that far fetched, sell actual covered calls on crypto, because that would be incredible. So I can potentially generate income. I mean, if a covered call acts the same way, right here I could sell 40 covered calls, even if I'm making $5 $5 per call, even in a month's time. That's $200 a month that I can generate off of this position alone. Now, that's just me speculating right now. There's nothing official. There's nothing even talked about of that. But just knowing how financial markets work and how much crypto has been improving over just the last year or two, especially the last year, there's been an insane amount of developments for crypto in the last year and a half. So, yeah, this revolution is going to blow your mind. And I really do. I'm saying it right now. Sometime in the next 2 to 5 years, this account's going to be worth about $300,000. I think it's going to more than 10x in 5 years, and I'm only putting about $200 a month into it. 400 at best, but that's that's a pretty solid return that I'm looking for. But this is finance and investing, just Joey style, and that's what I'm looking at. That's my accounts, and don't give up out there. Everybody's got a different opinion in the market. Some people do things better than others. Some people, like, I'm a really good long-term investor. Like, I'm really good at understanding long-term companies and what they will do. I don't have an account that shows that because life, the way that I traded, I got a little bit of a gambler mentality in me. Well, I can have a gambling problem, so sometimes I tie that into the market, which I'm done with that crap. But I'm going to show people. I showed people that you can blow your account up using the wrong stuff. And I'm going to show people that if you don't quit and you do the right things, that you can turn it around. So don't quit. It's a huge thing for me. Don't give up, especially when you make a promise. Don't do that crap. Be accountable for yourself. And at any time that you mess up, own it. That's it. Own it. If you own your mess ups, nobody can really do anything worse to you than you can do to yourself. So own your stuff, own your mess ups, and you're gonna be just fine. If we really understand, like, one day I'll put a video out here, what I look for in companies and how I do some research for income statements and cash flow and things like that. I keep forgetting, but yeah, don't give up. You can barely see him over there, but he's tired. I'm tired too. So I got a little bit more research to go and then go to bed. But it's getting to be a holiday time. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy New Year coming up soon. This is Finance Investing Just Joey style, and we're going to do some really good things together. Just keep at it.